Let me tell you something. Having to sit down with somebody and go over why you spent $200 on Chipotle in a month is very humbling. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl, Simone Nicole here. Back at it again with yet another video. Uh-oh. Y'all hear my daughter? I want y'all to see what she be doing. And then she looks back at me. Let me let her in the closet. Okay. Hello, everybody. We are back now that I've gotten my daughter settled. Sorry, she's been a pretty good girl for the last times that I've been filming. Y'all haven't seen her in a while. You know, she was here for every single video that I filmed for like months straight, but she's been a little camera shy recently, and that's fine. Sorry. Anyways, hi, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Simone Nicole, and I'm so excited for today's video. Even though my energy might seem a little down, even though I might look a little different, I could not be bothered to put on a lash. I have a trip coming up next week, and I needed to bulk film. I filmed 3 videos in a week, 3 YouTube videos in a week. So your girl's a little tired, and it's the first day of my period, child. Ooh-wee. But no, I'm really happy on the inside. I swear I am. I'm just a little, now that all of my disclaimers are out of the way, I am so excited to talk to you guys today about my boring habits that have made my life so much better. I realized that my life has changed a lot and it looks a lot different. And that difference has been really since the beginning of 2025. And when I really sat down and thought about all the things that have changed, all the positive things that have been happening, I distilled them down genuinely into 5 different categories. And I'm here to share those with you guys today. And I'm really hoping that you guys will be able to take these things and maybe implement them into your own life. So if you want to be happier, prettier, richer, more relaxed, just the best that you've ever been, then keep on watching. The first habit that I implemented that has changed my life for the better is that, surprise, I took the time to understand my body. Now, let me break down what that means. If you have been here basically since the beginning of this year, then you've heard me nonstop talk about my health journey. For anybody that does not know, I got my labs done and realized that a big part of the reason why I was seeing things in my body that I'm just not used to, from like weight gain, hair thinning, overall sluggishness, things like that, is because my nervous system was essentially in fight or flight. I've always been a hard worker. I've always, shocker, ignored what my body was trying to tell me. I didn't realize I was doing it. Like, I was just grinding, like I had goals. I wanted to move here being Atlanta. So I worked my butt off to do so. At the time, I worked at Cheesecake Factory and I worked at Ulta. I had a couple of jobs for a while there. I was working doubles. I was working 6 days a week. I would literally leave one job and go to the next. And at one point I was working so much, my rib popped out of place in my back. So I had to do a lot of therapy around that, like chiropractor, and it actually still gives me issues to this day, unfortunately. And my wrists are super duper weak from like those heavy ass plates. Like, ugh, I love Cheesecake Factory, but them plates is real big and real heavy, and I would just push through it. I would do all of that and then come home and film videos, come home and edit videos, because I was still trying to do social media as well. So I trained myself to ignore any symptoms that my body was trying to send me to tell me to stop or to slow down. Stress didn't mean shit to me. Actually, stress was like a state of being that I thought that was like normal. It was like my standard. It was my homeostasis, one might say. That was a big word for Elmo. I know that's right. Anyway, so suffice it to say, who was surprised when I found out that my nervous system was extremely dysregulated? I cannot impress upon y'all how much that changed everything, because if your nervous system is dysregulated, your body is going to prioritize survival. Okay? Survival. So hair growth, gone. Caring about you losing or gaining weight, gone. Like sleep, gone. Like, you have to start with that and learn how to tune your ear to what your body needs. Because trust me, your body wants to be a well-oiled machine. That's what it's designed for. So when you really slow down and give your body what it needs, it really is a game changer. And I know that in this world of like, overconsumption, constant stimulation, constant dopamine, constantly needing to work because to breathe costs $1 million nowadays. Like, I'm not saying this like it's easy. I'm saying that you have one body and you have to prioritize it. And I know that the people that watch my videos consistently are like, Simone, you sound like a broken record. But I really do feel like it is so important for us to prioritize it, because I cannot express to you what seeing that panel and hearing those results did to me. Okay, moving on to habit number 2. I take vitamins and supplements daily. It is very unsexy. It is very like rolling eyes, but y'all, I cannot tell you how much it has changed things for me, because I started out at habit number 1 by getting my levels checked and realizing where I was deficient. That is why my vitamins are actually so beneficial. So I can tell a difference, because me getting more and more comfortable as the video goes on. Sorry guys, this is just a comfy little video. I used to take vitamins before I got my labs tested, and I'm telling you right now, it was a waste of money, because I was trying to treat the symptoms and not treat the root. So I would be bloated and they're like, do L-glutamine, and I'm like, slay, I'm gonna guzzle a whole bottle of L-glutamine, and I wasted my money because I wasn't bloated because I was just bloated. I was bloated because I was dairy intolerant. Now that I understand actually where I am deficient, I'm taking targeted and prescribed supplements to me. And I think that that is going to give you the most bang for your buck. I know I say in so many videos, stop buying shit from the TikTok shop. Do you hear me? Stop it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have a package from the TikTok shop in my mailbox right now, but that's beside the point. It's not a supplement. I know that the supplements that I'm taking have worked so well for me because I am taking them with purpose. I am taking vitamin D on a daily basis because, like I said, most Black people are vitamin D deficient. Oh, a doctor was in my comment section describing it a lot better. I'm going to describe it again, but I think that my description is a little off. Because of the melanin in our skin, it's harder for us to absorb the vitamin D from our environment. So we would have to be like outside constantly. And who's outside constantly at this point in order to get the natural vitamin D that we would need? And fun fact, vitamin D can mask itself as depression and anxiety. Sorry, I was about to be like, anxiety. Ooh, that was bad. Anyways, so yeah, vitamin D is a super important supplement to take. I take that. I've stopped taking my adaptogens because my adrenal system is back on track. Adaptogens help for you to manage stress, which was a part of my adrenal system, which was in the toilet, as we have discussed. But now that my adrenals are back on track, I no longer have to take the adaptogens as of right now. Thank the Lord. I am taking Barbitin. Is that what it's called? For my cholesterol. I'm taking the Mary Ruth's vitamin, liquid vitamin. I have been doing that for months. I've gone through countless bottles. I absolutely love the Mary Ruth's vitamins. And I do L-glutamine every single morning to help with my gut health. And it actually works this time because I eliminated the irritant being dairy. So the L-glutamine can actually work to heal my gut. It would be like getting a paper cut and then putting a Band-Aid on it, only to reopen the paper cut and then put a Band-Aid on it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you stop cutting yourself, whoa, that's really dark. If you stop getting the paper cuts, then the Band-Aid will work to help the skin mend. You know what I'm saying? Was that a good analogy? Hope so. Anyways, yeah, so now that I've took away the irritant, L-glutamine can actually do its job. And I'm so happy that I did that. Like, I feel like so often we want a quick fix. Mind you, I've been taking these vitamins for months, y'all. Months and months and months and months and months. These are not anything that's talked about on this list. It's not a quick fix. It's going to take you time. And that's what you want. Anything that you can get quickly probably ain't worth having. And that applies to everything in this life. It has made me feel a lot better. And it helps me like feel really productive because it's something I do every single morning. It's like a part of my little routine. Like I make my bed, I brush my teeth, and I go take my vitamins. So that is unsexy, but life-changing. Tip number 2. Tip number 3, and this is a big one, getting back into therapy. I know guys, I know. I feel like every person is always talking about therapy, go to therapy, get therapy, get therapy, get therapy. And I always think it's so interesting when I see people saying like, I don't need therapy because I'm my own therapist. No, you're not. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You can't bounce things off of yourself. You cannot heal yourself. What did I say in my last video? You need community. You cannot exist in a vacuum. You cannot be your own savior, your own best friend, your own therapist, your own. No, the shit that my therapist be saying to me, I could have never come up in this cabeza in 1,000 years. And I would like to think I'm a very emotionally intelligent person. You just need perspective. You need a professional that can really help you with these things. In my last video that you guys haven't seen yet, because I've banged out so many freaking videos this week, I did briefly talk about childhood trauma and how it floors me every single session, how much my childhood trauma is still guiding me and holding me back to this day. Actually, let me say this again. I plugged it very briefly, but I've been giving a lot of thought to starting a Patreon. I mentioned that in my last video. I haven't gotten y'all's reaction because I haven't uploaded the video, so I don't know what y'all think. But on said Patreon, I would talk about a subject like this more deeply. I am starting to realize how much I hide from letting people really see me. And that is a direct result of childhood trauma, from being bullied, from feeling like I wasn't enough, from feeling ugly, from feeling all of those things for so many years. I didn't realize how palatable I started to make myself and how afraid I am to really live in my fullness, because subconsciously, operative word, subconsciously, I'm afraid that I will lose people's love. I will lose people's admiration. Do you think I would have come up with that on my own? Someone, quickly, because according to this life, you would think I'm living in my fullness. I thought I was living in my fullness. Turns out I can be going 10 times harder. It took for someone else to look at me and to see these patterns and to see these things for it to really click for me. Therapy is invaluable. And I'm not saying this because, oh, it's oh so easy or it's cheap. I pay for therapy out of pocket, baby, because it is important to me. I just said, you only get one body. You only get one brain. You only get one life experience. And I just want to be the best person that I can. I don't want to be perfect, but I want to stop having these subconscious things control me and limit me. So therapy has been the best thing that I could have ever done. I'll go into that more in detail, like I said, on my Patreon, is what I'm thinking. I think that's one of the first things that I want to address, is get a little deeper into the parts of myself that are a little softer, a little more vulnerable, that I'm not willing to put in front of 500,000 people. Love y'all, but that's a bit much. Make sure you are tuned in for the details of whenever I drop that. I'm hoping to drop it at some point next month, especially if the interest is there from you guys. So that's the mental health part of it. But now I am so excited to say that I am going to be starting pelvic floor therapy very, very soon. I was supposed to start it last week, but child life, baby. I had so much work stuff. And then I have an upcoming trip. I have a trip that I'm leaving for on Monday that I'm so excited for y'all to see in the coming weeks. And I've had to push it back. But now that I have a free membership, thanks to you guys, with Stat Wellness. And I also have a code if you want a membership as well that I'll pop up on screen. With that membership, I get physical therapy, and I'm going to use it to get pelvic floor therapy, because I have recently discovered that some of the symptoms that I've been having are related to a weak pelvic floor. I, like all women should, and I will always be a proponent of this, I touch my vagina, not in a sexual way. And it's such a shame that our minds go directly there, because as women, we are taught that our vagina is for giving birth and for having sex. And our vaginas are so much more functional than that. You need to be looking at your vagina. You need to be friends with her. You need to like, it is not awkward, and we make it so awkward. YouTube, please don't demonetize this. Please, this is educational, please. Once I Googled it and figured out what I was feeling physically, it like unraveled so much. Where do I start? Let me slow down. I'm getting excited. I then figured out like, oh my gosh, having a weak pelvic floor is also could be tied to the reason why my lower back is so weak. I have a extremely weak lower back, and also by proxy, because I have a weak lower back, I have a weak core. All of those things are related. So I've been going to the chiropractor in order to help with, one, my freaking rib that popped out of place when I was working my fingers to the bone, because it still hurts often. I'm going back for that. And then pelvic floor therapy will help with strengthening the muscles from the inside out. And I mentioned that I was going to pelvic floor therapy in a couple videos back, and someone commented and I think that they're a doctor. They commented and said like, it is such a good idea to do pelvic floor therapy before you have kids, because it will make birth seamless. It'll make things so much easier. And again, I'm not even sure if I want to have kids. I don't know. We talked about that in the last video. Who knows? But if I choose to, I want that baby to slide right out. you know? And just, it's always good to have a healthy and a strong pelvic floor. Look it up. It is tied to so many different things. And for the umpteenth time, our vagina is made for more than just sex and the pleasure of others. Thank you. What about the pleasure to ourselves? You know what? Let's not get into that because this is not the video for that. This is not the video for that, but that is unsexy, but oh, I'm so happy because I just want to be not in pain when I'm like in Pilates doing bridges. Could you imagine? You know, I just want to be able to sleep on my stomach and not have my lower back be on fire. Could you imagine, you know, not break down in tears over certain things that have happened in my life that I didn't realize affected me as deeply as they could, you know? And that's what I'm working to do. And it has been so liberating and so wonderful. And that is the end of my tip number 3. Okay, so we've absolutely touched on things that have made me healthier and kind of that have made me happier. But now let's really get into my happiness. And that is I have allowed other people to take things off of my plate. I am speaking directly to the women that feel like you have to be superheroes. I'm talking to the eldest daughters. I'm talking to the women that had to raise families and raise kids that you didn't have to push out on your own. I'm talking to the people that felt like they could never make a mistake and your ability to endure defined you. I'm talking directly to you, just as I'm talking to me. Taking things off your plate and allowing people to do other things for you is not a weakness. Before my checklist and checking things off of said checklist, I got like a little dopamine hit from that. Like, I'm gonna write this mile-long checklist. I'm gonna get it all done because I'm Superwoman. I can do everything. I'm a girl boss. Da, 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 da. And now I'm like, I'm hustling backwards. Like, when I really look at the people that I admire, like Beyonce, she's not doing everything for herself. No, she delegates. She is a leader. A good leader is someone that knows how to lead, period, point blank. And is someone that knows when enough is enough and when too much is too much. So that is the point that I've come to. Now, the things that I'm going to list that I have had taken off my plate are things that genuinely do not bring me joy, one, or things that I needed to give up so that I could grow my business and free up my hands so that I can do more. The first thing that I knew I wanted to do when I got a little piece of money was get my laundry serviced. And recently I've also added getting my house cleaned to that list. One, I don't like doing laundry. I mean, like separating the clothes, putting them in the washer, putting them in the dryer is one thing, baby. Now I gotta fold them and put them away. What? There was a point in my life where I would always perpetually have clean laundry on the end of my couch, and I would look at old videos and you would just see like the clean laundry like at the end of my couch, like all the time, because I just never had time to do all of it. And I didn't like doing it. I've read, what was it? Atomic Habits? Yeah, I think it was Atomic Habits. Oh, that wig is not laid down enough for that, sister. Keep that tucked. I was reading Atomic Habits, and a lot of what he talks about is identifying pain points in your life. Once you can see the pain points, you can diagnose them, you can solve them, and then you can do the thing that you've been trying to do. I do that in a lot of places in my life. If I find that I am not as consistent on socials, why is that? And I work backwards. Or if I find that there's a specific task that I don't want to do, why is that? Oh, is it because my dyslexia is making it difficult? Okay, well, let me look up resources or apps or something that will help me and help my dyslexia so that I can get that thing knocked out. Laundry isn't that deep. My next point will be a little deeper. Laundry isn't that deep, but I need clothes. Like, I need clean clothes and I need for them to not be decorating my couch in the process. So I was like, I'm gonna get a little piece of money and I'm gonna get my clothes serviced. Baby, it's not even that expensive. I do it once a month and it costs me on average on a high end month $100. And for the last few months, I've been paying $60. They pick my clothes up from my front door, drop them off, have them washed, folded, brought back to me, and dropped in front of my door within 24 hours. For $60? I spend more on Chipotle in a month. Like, what are we talking about? Like, take my $60. It's a thing off my plate that, like, I'm just gonna make the money for. And I have no shame about it because my time and my energy is needed elsewhere. Again, leadership. Where is your energy, your creativity, your mind? Where's that useful for? Where's that needed? And doing my laundry just ain't it. And now, since I keep on talking about business because business is such a big part of my life, another thing that I've taken off my plate is now I have editors for every part of my business. Of course, y'all know Claire. Shout out to Claire. She edits my YouTube videos, but now I have an editor for my short form videos. And I have an assistant. And that is so exciting to me because being able to delegate these things out, specifically editing, I don't like editing. I will do it. I can do it, but I don't like doing it. That is the reason why I was so inconsistent for so many years on YouTube, is because I didn't have an editor. I didn't have anybody like holding me accountable or to be accountable with. But for me, I've been able to be so consistent with you guys because I know that every week I'm going to record a video. I'm going to get that footage over to Claire on Monday. We're going to spend the week editing it. And then y'all are going to get the video the following Sunday. That's in general what our cadence is. And because I know that I have like a receiver, not me making sports analogies, what? But now that I know I have like a receiver to catch the project as soon as I'm done and then it's out of my hands, it makes the task of sitting down to film that much easier because I know that I'm not gonna have editing on the other side of it. Same thing with editing short form content. I would usually have like, I don't know, at any given time, 8 to 10 videos banked. I can come up with ideas, I can shoot, I can be creative like nobody's business. I just don't like editing. It just is what it is. So now I've outsourced that so that I can focus on launching things. There's a handful of projects that I would like to launch in addition to my Patreon, and I just didn't have the time. Like, I'm trying to keep up with YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, post on LTK, drop y'all links and talk to y'all, keep up with y'all in the comments, do all that. And I'm an actor? What? Like, there's just not enough hours in the day for me to run all those things and do it well. So I now have an assistant to help me keep up with everything, and that can help me organize things and not overwhelm myself. I have my management team that like negotiates deals for me, that gets me into events and gets me into different rooms. I just am so happy that I'm building out a team that is working for me and is so invested in helping me to expand my brand. So again, unsexy and maybe even a little bit not relatable, because how many of you guys watching are content creators or are in roles of leadership? I don't know, but I think that it is applicable to anybody. Like, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't have to do it all. What can you delegate? What can you give up to make your life easier? Like, I just don't think that as women, we should be wearing sacrifice as a badge of honor and stress as a badge of honor. So whatever it is on your plate that you can give away or delegate to somebody, I just think you should. It has made me so much happier, and it's freeing me up to actually do things that I really love. So that is tip number 4. I'm just so grateful for the people around me and my team. And last but not least, the habit that has made me richer, and that is having a financial advisor and meeting with her, yes, her, regularly. Not only is it a her, she's also Black. And we love that. I absolutely love her. Her name is Danaea. I know that she's fine with me sharing her name because we've talked about how she wants me to start talking more about my financial journey, because she's been with me for coming up on a year now, I want to say. And she's seen me blossom and grow in so many different ways financially, and really work on my poverty mindset and diversifying my income, putting my money in different places, because I've expressed before, I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to have generational wealth. I want to be a part of making sure that my grandchildren's grandchildren are good. And this is the start of that, because I was raised by a single mom. Money was scary to me. I was scared of money for a very long time. And I will never forget this quote that I heard. And it was, if you are scared of money, money is scared of you. I used to not check my bank accounts. I just used to swipe and hope that the money was in there. I was scared of it because I never had it. There was never enough of it. It was always this perpetual chase and hunt, and it was just never enough. It was scarce, right? So it didn't create a good relationship. And yes, everyone has a relationship with money. It's just whether or not you were aware of it. But once I changed around my mindset around the fact that money is quite literally just a resource, just as like way back in the day, they would be like, I got a fish. Do you want to exchange it for this pair of earrings? Not literally, but y'all know what I mean. Like, it's just, we use it in exchange for other things. For me, money is security. And I think that that will always be a thing, especially because I did not grow up with money. But just because money is security doesn't mean that it has to be scary. So I got with a financial advisor to make sure that I was putting my money in the right places. So now I have a stock portfolio. insane. Because I do not have a traditional job, I don't have a 401k, I don't have a Roth IRA. So she has created systems for me to make sure that I am good by the time that I retire. She's really helping to set me up for my future. And over that, we meet monthly. That's why I'm calling this a habit. And we go over my budget, we go over what I spent. And let me tell you something, having to sit down with somebody and go over why you spent $200 on Chipotle in a month is very humbling, and it'll make you just watch yourself more. I think that people think that the more money that they make, the easier their life gets. And I'm here to tell you that genuinely that phrase, more money, more problems, is absolutely a thing. What is it? Lifestyle creep. It can creep up on you very, very quickly. The bad habits that you have right now with money are the same bad habits that you will keep once you get it. I am here to tell you that more money will only make sure that your bills are paid. And I'm not discounting that. I know that a lack of money can make you feel like you literally cannot breathe. I remember that. I remember being in my first apartment where I was so close to the belt. Like I had I think $15 or $20 a week to spend on whatever I chose to. $15 or $20 a week. It's crazy to think about now, but yeah, I remember that feeling. And even growing up, I remember the feeling of not having and penny pinching. And during those times, I just knew that having money would solve everything. And I am trying to tell y'all that getting money, it just doesn't. Does it make things a lot easier? It absolutely does. But it also complicates things. If you don't fix your money habits while you don't have a ton of it, you're going to still have them same problems when you do have a lot of money. So I encourage you all to take more charge of your finances and not be so scared of them. And I know how that feels. I cannot emphasize, I know how that feels. I know how that feels. But I just want to encourage you guys to have a healthier relationship with money, because it will change things for you. If you're not quite in the place to justify getting a financial advisor, that's fine. I know, and I am prayerful that one day you will be, but start with little habits while you are at the level that you are currently at. And for my girls that are potentially looking for a new financial advisor or want to work with somebody, I will have my girl's information down in the description box. She is phenomenal, and I love that she is a young Black woman just like me. So yeah, I am set for now in my life, and I will for damn sure be set later in my life, because I want to kick my feet back, drink my margarita on the beach, and be cool and not have to worry about money in my golden years, because we ain't doing that. Whew, this was a long one, was it not? I think it was. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and that you were able to take something away from these 5 boring habits. Even though they don't have the most sex appeal to them, they have really, really, really helped me and changed my life in a lot of ways. Let me know down below if you would like to see me with a Patreon. I'm just nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous that everyone's gonna be like, girl, we don't give a fuck. But for real, let me know if you guys would be interested in that, because I will get into subjects like this much more in depth and much more transparently over there. I'm thinking $10 a month is what I want to set it at, so it's not like a quadrillion dollars, but it's a high enough price point so that weirdos won't pay to be in there. That's my thought process behind it. I don't know, but none of this is set in stone. I'll have more concrete details for you guys in the coming weeks. But with that being said, thank you guys again for joining me. I will always have my discount codes for Stat Wellness and for Function Health in my description box. The companies that have helped me get my body together internally. And I think that is all for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. And with all that being said, I will see you guys super duper soon in the next one. Bye guys.
Come rewind. Girl, I get the money with me, make you mine. If you love me, every night, make you mad.